Hello, wrench mates! Let's get to some wrenching. Last night I was on YouTube commenting some of U-Turn Tim's YouTube stuff while he is riding around looking for an apartment with a garage. And he actually replied to one of my comments that he wanted to see some videos, me wrenching. So I thought, why not? Let's give it a shot. This is my old GPC 900R, and it needs a new chain kit. So sprockets and chain is ordered and in-house, so delivered, but it's not ready to come on yet because I realized that in that chain kit there was no sprocket washer for the front sprocket. So today I'll make a part one where I introduce you to how I go around doing stuff like that. So we'll take it from the beginning. So I don't know how many episodes this is going to be, but this is definitely part number one. Let's get to it.
So, my first work is look up the owner's workshop manual. And I have that from Haynes. Kawasaki ZX 900 is my model, and it's actually an 88, so it fits, and I've used it a lot. But I've not used Haynes a lot. And now I want to show you a beautiful example. Why not? Because I have the original workshop manual for the bike, and typically I start out with reading the book because it's more handy, but now I want to show you why. So I'm going to change the front sprocket, the rear sprocket, and a new chain. So in my manual and all over the place, stuff like that is called final drive, and it has some sprockets. It could be mentioned under chain. I don't know. Let's look up final drive. Final drive is up here. It says adjustment 28, 29, lubrication 27, wear check 36. So no removal and no installation. So I looked up the sections. They don't tell me. So what do we have? Chain, camshaft chain, alternator, starter, clutch, no, cam, no, final drive, same pages. Oh, Jesus. Sprockets. What do we have on sprockets? Sprocket front, sprocket rear, 51. Let's look at page 51. It's here. Page 51 is there. Starts with a section of removing the engine gearbox unit from the frame. Hell no. So what's this up to? Machine is dirty, clean it. Suitable sized container beneath, drain engine oil, drain coolant, remove the carburetors. Remove the 3 bolts that secure the clutch save cylinder to the engine sprocket casing. And withdraw the cylinder from the casing, blah, 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 blah. But this is not very handy. I don't know how far I should go into this, except for when the stuff is off, and it's not very clear. Page 89 was the second one. Refitting the engine gearbox unit to the frame. Of course, it's because it's putting the stuff back on again. So, I don't like this. I use my manual. My manual tells me how to remove the final drive, and I'm going to do it. So, I'll just walk you through what I read in the manual. And here's my manual. Quick reference guide. Final drive, section 10. I just love this. On the front cover of the final drive section, we have exploded view, specifications, special tools, the drive chain, and it has a drive chain removal. An installation in section 10.6. Oh. The exploded view is just so handy. You get exactly how to fit stuff in which order, what kind of screws there are, what torque settings you need. And finally here we have the drive chain removal. Remove the engine sprocket, blah blah blah. Few steps, boom. I know it has references back to removing brackets and wheels, but it's just so much easier. But let's start out with just showing you the situation of my chain drive. Let's see, here I got some slack. So this is pretty much my preferred tension. But if I start to roll out, this gets a bit too loose over my 45 millimeters. And the problem with that is that my chain needs a tension from everywhere around my sprockets between 35 and 45 millimeters.
Yeah, so this is to round up part 1. Look up the manual, make sure you read the procedures, better twice than not. When going around a bike this old, I just hate it if I strip a nut, a screw. Fuck. I have a week, if not 2 weeks, of waiting time to spare parts to get to me. Pretty much because I want as much OEM, so the OEM stuff, nuts, whatever is still available, screws is preferably, in my opinion, but waiting for it, I'm just so extremely careful. Get your socket wrench solid on the bolts, screws, whatever. Don't try to do stuff in a hurry. You'll just end up, waiting 2 weeks or something before you can assemble the stuff again. Yeah, I think that's it. Part number 1. Next time, we'll just get onto the tools. See ya.